Callander became famous as Tannochbrae, the setting for the first and highly popular TV series Dr. Finlay's Casebook, which ran from 1962 to 1971. A.J. Cronin, on whose stories the series was based, was once a medical assistant in the area. There's been a settlement at Callander since at least the 12th century, but the town really grew in size after the Jacobite Rebellion of 1745, when the commissioners for the forfeited estates, who had been given power to seize all the lands of Jacobite sympathisers, designed and laid out the wide main street and spacious Ancaster Square on land taken from the Drummond family, specifically to house army pensioners. By the 1790s, Callander had a population of over 2,000, not much less than today. Above the town is an interesting walk to Bracklin Falls, immortalised in one of the great William McGonagall's poems. While you're in an area of such outstanding beauty, you might like to abandon the car for a while and really lose yourself in the countryside. And what better way of getting there than by bike? There are a wide variety of cycle tracks to choose from to suit all ages and abilities. With the National Cycle Network running through the town, you can cycle safely for miles. One direction takes you north to Strathyre and on to Killin, all off the busy road. The other alternatives are deep through the Forest Park to Aberfoyle, or to the end of the private road around Loch Katrine. Many notable people have stayed in Callander, including the Beatles and J.M. Barrie, author of Peter Pan. Not long ago, Michael Jackson paid a flying visit when he was reported to be interested in moving to the area. The famous English cricketer Ian Botham has holidayed here for many years and caught his first salmon on the Teith, as did his son Liam. It was recently discovered that the game of football as we recognise it today was not founded at Cambridge University in 1848, as has always been thought, but in the little Perthshire borough of Callander. A historian of sport discovered some old copies of a Stirling newspaper which reported an organised match between players from the north and south of Scotland taking place in deep snow in January 1842. A later edition in 1883 reports that this fixture was played every New Year's Day and that one elderly supporter said he had witnessed 70 of these annual games. Leave the town and you pass Lenny Estate, where once stood Lenny Castle, which was the seat of the clan Buchanan of Lenny, the lands being granted to them in the 10th century by King Cullen. In the 16th century, the Laird of Lenny was eager to join up with the army of James VI on its ill-fated march into England. His wife, who wanted to keep him at home, had other ideas and locked him in the castle. After numerous attempts, he managed to escape. Unfortunately, in his haste, he accidentally set fire to the castle, which burned to the ground. Another strange tale concerning Lenny House took place during the 45 Jacobite rebellion. Stewart of Glenbuckie and Glencarnig with his MacGregors were leading their respective Balquhidder clans to war. They marched together until they arrived at Lenny House, where Buchanan of Lenny offered them food and shelter for the night. Glencarnig wished to carry on, but Stewart accepted and stayed. The next morning, Stewart was found dead in bed, shot through the head with a pistol in his hand. Over 100 years later, when some graves were being moved to accommodate burial vaults at Balquhidder Kirk, where Stewart was laid to rest, a skull was dug up with the ball still rolling around inside. It was reburied. It was never established if it was murder or suicide. Buchanan himself did not fight in the 45, but was arrested at Lenny House before the Battle of Culloden and executed at Carlisle whilst always proclaiming his innocence.